Hi guys, Sky here. We have Stormy here.
Hello.
So yeah, the Mandalorian season 2 finale finally came out this Friday. And well, I thought it was a crazy episode. It was directed by Peyton Reed, who you might know from the Ant-Man movies. Um he also directed another episode in this season. And I mean, I thought this episode was really good. Um, Definitely that cliff sort of hanger at the end left a lot of questions. And I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Stormy?
I mean, as a whole, I thought it was a good finale. Um, Definitely like kind of a couple questions, but I think as a finale, like up until the end, like it was really good. I liked the story pacing. It felt like they were doing something, if that makes sense. Like, something like bigger than like just themselves. But like in regards to the cliffhanger at the end credit, like that's exciting. Super exciting. I didn't expect it. I kind of figured they would do something like that, but I didn't expect that specifically.
Yeah, I mean, well, obviously, um, if you've seen the episode, you know that some key points that happened, basically, um, like everyone from Bo-Katan to Boba Fett to Fennec, they all like teamed up to get into Moff Gideon's like base,
Dark
and
Cruiser.
they basically went through a lot of stormtroopers, and they finally got in, and um Moff Gideon is planning to like start up these death troopers, and it basically became this whole like complication because like these guys are like Iron Man bots, and they can't really be stopped other than like the Beskar spear. And um Din gets the rightful claim of the Mandalore by defeating Moff Gideon in the battle for Dark Saber, and the episode finishes with Luke Skywalker coming in and basically killing all the Death Troopers. And yeah, I don't know. What do you think, Stormy, about all this that happened? What was your favorite part?
So I have to say, probably unpopularly, my favorite part is them getting out of the ship. The shuttle. When it like crashes, because I felt that was like a really cool scene, and it reminded me a lot of like the older movies. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Like them coming out of a ship and immediately like shooting the stormtroopers coming in, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I kind of got that vibe also.
and
Yeah,
it was really cool to see them go through the entire ship. I mean, I like to me that was like the best part. I mean, yeah, the Luke Skywalker ending, basically like that was cool, but like to me I felt like them going in and taking out all the stormtroopers like looked better. And like yeah, the dark troopers like served to be an issue, and they were interesting to watch. I mean, it was strange because if you have seen Legends comics, you know that the dark troopers there are very very similar. um and one thing that I found was like kind of odd is like Mando like shot at them like what 5 times, and like they missed, and I was like, why didn't you take out your staff? You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it kind of gave me like the, oh, he must not know, but like those shots did nothing. So I like that entire fight scene of him getting his ass beat, just to get back up.
yeah, yeah. It sort of showed how like powerless he was,
Yeah,
especially without like the dark saber.
and then when Moff Gideon fought him, I thought that that was a good fight. I thought it should have been longer. I felt like it should have like given him more of a run for his money, because clearly Moff Gideon knows how to use a saber. No idea how, but some of those strikes that he was doing, like the first or second one that he did, like where he like did it over his head, that looked like a trained strike to me. I mean, yeah, it could just be like random trying to slash, but like I don't know. I felt like that wasn't random. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, like so you think Moff Gideon has been trained or has some sort of training?
Potentially, it just like we've seen Finn and you know let's not mention the sequels, but we've seen Finn and Rey do basically the same thing, but they just looked untrained. He doesn't. It definitely looks different. Like, and they've never used a lightsaber either until those scenes. So like,
Yeah,
it doesn't look randomized if you know what I'm trying to say.
yeah. I mean, we know what's it called? Moff Gideon didn't die in this episode, so we could it could possibly be revealed in like future seasons that he was actually like part of an inquisitor of some sort, or he has some sort of connection to the force. I don't know.
Yeah.
um so obviously a big part of this episode, and like sort of the most, I mean, it was expected, I guess, but I mean, what did you think about Luke Skywalker?
I mean, it was a good scene. A lot of people are gonna give them hate for the CGI. I didn't think it was bad. It didn't take away from the experience, and the whole like him coming onto the ship was really done well. I liked the X-wing thing. That was like immediately like, oh, that's Luke. And especially when he got in the room, like a lot of people were like, "Oh, yeah, that takes away from the Mando and Grogu scene." Not really. To me, it like just kind of like, "Oh, Luke's here. That's cool." Like the way that
Yeah,
they
I
introduced him
never
was great.
thought it took away from like the main plot or in that circumstance. I thought it was like it didn't feel out of place.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't see anything wrong with it. Like it served its purpose. Especially like considering it was a finale type thing.
Yeah, and I
R2
mean,
coming in was cool
it
as well.
makes sense because yeah, because we know Grogu called the Jedi in the previous episode, and it was bound to happen that like some Jedi or Force user was gonna aid to him. So
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Luke probably sensed that this stuff was happening and basically came to the rescue.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you noticed this also, but that whole like hallway fight scene with Luke, didn't it remind you of the ending of Rogue One
I mean, yeah, a
with
little.
Vader?
Yeah, a little. Uh, I think if they would have done like a him igniting his lightsaber scene in the very beginning, like of a hallway, if they would have did that, it would have been like spot on. But like you definitely see a resemblance. You can't see who he is. I mean,
Yeah,
obviously we
I mean,
know, but
I don't know if it was intentional, but like it's kind of cool because he's his father, so it's like they have that sort of like resemblance.
I thought it was done pretty well too.
Yeah, a lot of people think Peyton Reed, who's the director of the episode, can't really like direct. Like he's not that good of a director. But I mean, I thought he redeemed himself like with this episode.
Hmm.
Um I didn't really see any flaws with it.
Yeah, I mean the only major or like the only minor flaw that I've seen, which I guess some people could look at it as a major, is like I feel like with the way that they handle Moff Gideon, it pretty much has made him like, abstain for the rest of the series. I mean, yeah, he could play like a bigger role, but like the way that they introduced him in this episode, like to Mando, like it seems like there's not really much of a story there, and I wish there was, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Um I do, but I mean at the same time, I feel like I could totally be wrong about this, but I feel like Disney and like the whole Lucasfilm team, I think they never really meant for Moff Gideon to be that big of a villain, and maybe there's a larger threat, and I think it's gonna be Thrawn possibly.
Yeah, I could see it.
Um, because I mean, I never really felt Moff Gideon was that like I never felt like scared or anything by his presence. It just felt like he was there.
Yeah, and hopefully they
So
continue the cloning process that we saw in an earlier episode.
yeah, I think that's gonna be like a heavy factor going forward.
Yeah.
And this could I mean, I hope not, but I could see them doing this. They could possibly use this to explain how they cloned or like how they managed to um bring back Palpatine, and I don't know. Do you see that as a possibility?
I mean, it's definitely possible, but I feel like they're with the Mandalorians going. I definitely feel they're gonna choose a different route or try to choose a different route.
Yeah. And well, I mean, last but not least, let's talk about the end credit scene. Um, so we see Boba Fett basically take over Jabba's palace, and he's basically like the king of the crime now.
I thought that was cool.
Where
I
do you
like the way
see
they
this
did that.
going?
I mean, honestly, as far as I know, like we're gonna get a Boba Fett series. I'm pretty sure that's like 100% confirmed at this point. As a special
Yeah,
show.
December 2021.
Yeah, and like I love Boba Fett, so like obviously like that was a cool scene, but I have a feeling that this is gonna open up a lot more, and like the universe, if that makes sense. It's gonna show us definitely a different side, kind of like Mandalorian did, but like even more so.
Yeah, because Boba Fett, I mean, so far as we've seen, he's just more like he likes to get the job done. He doesn't really have feelings necessarily, like,
Yeah,
because Din, he's a Mandalorian and all, but like, he's emotional like an actual human. So like, and Boba Fett's more like, getting the job done. So like, it's gonna be interesting how we see like that side. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect.
yeah, I'm not sure either, but it definitely does look interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, we know they confirmed that season 3 of The Mandalorian is gonna be releasing next Christmas. So I'm wondering if these two series will be running at the same time, or yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see.
Yep.
Um, where do you see them, like, just final thoughts on this? Where do you see them taking that whole Luke and Grogu like thing?
I mean, if they decanonize the sequels, so Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and Rise of Skywalker. If they take that away, then I definitely see like Grogu becoming a more mainstream character. Probably not for a really long time, but like like as his like kiddish form, it's like
Yeah,
it gives off good vibes, but I just don't I can't see Luke becoming a mainstream character at this point. Again, unless they actually hire an actor.
yeah. I mean, Sebastian Stan is right there.
Yeah, and there's rumors
um,
everywhere about that.
yeah. I mean, because if they do end up decanonizing the sequel trilogy and sort of continuing what sort of the Legends comics did, even though they're not canon right now, but I would love to see that side of Luke because we never really saw what happened to him after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can count the sequels, but like that felt out of place to me. So yeah, that's our thoughts on the season finale of The Mandalorian, season 2. Can't wait to see what's gonna happen next year. We're gonna have to wait a whole year, but hopefully it's worth the wait. Um, any final thoughts, Stormy?
No, not at all.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think, and we'll see you in the next video.